What's going on, guys? Microphone back again with another news video. Now, for those of you guys that didn't know, I really started my first channel as a basketball channel, and it's a channel by the name of The Flight Mike, if you guys didn't know of that. And if you happen to enjoy my content and you want to see my basketball content, I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below. But the reason I'm bringing this up is this past off season, the one player that I am being reminded of whenever I make Dez Bryant videos for the NBA is Carmelo Anthony. I made like 10 videos on Carmelo Anthony this past summer, and it was all very interesting because Carmelo Anthony was out of the league for, a year, about a year. Dez Bryant's been out of the NFL for, I want to say a year because he was injured last year. He was about to come back. There was general interest in him. But it's a very similar story, although Dez Bryant had a crazy freak Achilles injury. An Achilles tear is no fun and could usually end a career. Recently, I've been seeing Dez Bryant pop up more and more in headlines, and I really do think he is the Carmelo Anthony of the NFL right now because, one, his talent is significantly underappreciated. Two, most teams will probably not really give him a fair chance because, of course, of the Achilles injury. They'd wonder how long he could stay productive for. But the most interesting thing is the fact that Dez Bryant seems to be putting out these workout videos ever so often. As a matter of fact, I have never seen more workout footage of anyone else than Dez Bryant, and he is becoming a very polarizing prospect for NFL teams to consider signing. And the injury concerns is one reason, but you have to remember that Dez Bryant is a very interesting personality. I don't know if you guys have ever seen interviews or if you saw All or Nothing for the 2017 Dallas Cowboys season, or when Dez Bryant walked into the Cleveland Browns organization and just walked around and said hi to everybody on HBO's Hard Knocks in 2018. But Dez Bryant is definitely a very interesting and intriguing personality to have on your roster. But the reason why he's so polarizing is, one, he's not that old yet. He's only 31 years old. There's a lot of NFL players that have contributed way, way deeper into their 30s than Dez Bryant, especially considering the fact that he hasn't played the past 2 seasons. And also, we got a bunch of workout footage of both Dez working out with Patrick Mahomes, which at first I analyzed as, okay, Patrick Mahomes seeing if Dez Bryant and him could work together, if they have chemistry together. When a quarterback, an NFL quarterback, especially an offensive genius like Patrick Mahomes, teams up with a wide receiver like Dez Bryant, then that typically means something. This wasn't Dez Bryant going to catch balls from Derek Carr. This wasn't Dez Bryant going to catch balls from Ryan Tannehill. This wasn't Dez Bryant catching balls from Kyler Murray. All those quarterbacks are great quarterbacks in their own right. Dez Bryant was catching footballs from Patrick Mahomes, and I made a video about that 2 weeks ago. But more recently, we're getting more and more Dez Bryant affiliation with the Dallas Cowboys, and it's all started with this Jerry Jones thinking about signing Dez Bryant in the shower comment. A lot of you guys were very upset about what I had to say. I suggested that the Cowboys would either sign Dez Bryant as a compliment to Amari Cooper, or they could sign Dez Bryant as a cheap alternative to Amari Cooper. Although, the second option sounds a little unrealistic, I always try to get you guys the full side of the story. But you know what's ironic? Amari Cooper actually reacted to the possibility of Dez Bryant potentially returning to the Dallas Cowboys. So when Amari Cooper was asked about Dez Bryant coming back and whether he'd be interested in Dez Bryant coming back, Cooper had this to say: "I think it would be great. Obviously, Dez is a great player. When I was in college, and even in my first couple of years in the league, he was still considered one of the top 5 players in the game. I don't think that's something you just lose, especially with the way Dez's game is. He's one of those guys who goes up and attacks the ball, and I think he still has that." Without a doubt, Amari Cooper has a reason to want Dez Bryant to join the Dallas Cowboys, and that would be the passing game would open up significantly for the Cowboys. But the Cowboys have a lot of interesting decisions to make this free agency as well. As a matter of fact, I met Randall Cobb this past Sunday when I was watching the Clippers face the Lakers live, and I asked Randall what he thought about Mike McCarthy as the new hire for the Dallas Cowboys, and his reaction was strictly, "It depends on whether the Cowboys even consider bringing me back." So there's a lot of wide receiver decisions to make for the Dallas Cowboys, but here's the thing that makes things so interesting. And this is according to my man NFL Season. Shout outs to him for the content. But you see Dak and Dez literally getting on the field with one another and working together. And you know what's really interesting about this? A lot of people criticized the way Dak and Dez's relationship and chemistry was when they were on the same team with each other. And you have to understand that there is definitely some reason for concern here. You see, Dez Bryant was a 1,000-yard receiver from the years of 2012 to 2014. He was injured in 2015, and that was a throwaway year for the Dallas Cowboys nonetheless. That was the year that they had Matt Castle under the helm and they tanked. And the year after, 2016, was when they drafted Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. Dez Bryant came back with an 800-yard receiving season, and then the final year with the Cowboys, he had 838 receiving yards once again. So there were some criticisms, and I guess you could say for the first season, it was because Dak and Dez didn't really have a chance to get some reps together. And the season after, I don't know what excuse you'd want to give that. There was a reason why the Cowboys moved on from Dez Bryant at that point. They figured they'd had better receiving options. But it's really interesting to see Dak Prescott and Dez Bryant work together here, because it means that they are open to playing with each other. Anytime you see a quarterback playing or practicing with any wide receiver, it means that they're interested in potentially teaming up with each other. A quarterback has a huge say in what wide receivers get brought in, especially if it's a wide receiver that isn't going to cost much against the cap. Dez Bryant isn't going to have a crazy cap hit. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, who literally just gave Jason Witten $5 million to come back for a year and be a shell of his former self. So I could easily see Jerry Jones doing something similar here, because one, it would invigorate the fan bases. Two, it makes sense for the Cowboys. It's cheap receiving. At the very worst case scenario, you get Dez Bryant, who's going to be your wide receiver 2 next to Amari Cooper, or wide receiver 3, depending on how much he has left in the tank. I don't think there's much to lose from bringing Dez Bryant back, because he is very, very much revered by Dallas Cowboy fan bases and in the Dallas Cowboys locker room. So I think it's very interesting, and I don't think this is going to be the last time I make a video about Dez Bryant, because I've been seeing so much content like this. I've been seeing so much workout footage of him, and I really do think the one thing I really appreciate about it all is I think it is destiny for Dez Bryant to eventually get another contract. I think it's only a matter of time before we see him suit up again, because he really is not only trying to get back on the field and training his butt off, but he's improving. He looks significantly more explosive than he did weeks ago when he was practicing with Patrick Mahomes in this content over here. And I'm sure we could all agree. And if you disagree, please let me know in the comment section, because I do like to encourage debates in the comment section as well. Please let me know if he doesn't look ready for any reason whatsoever. He looks like he is committed and focused on getting back to the field. But the question is, who do you think he's going to sign with? If you're Dez Bryant, do you go back to the team, the only team that you knew, Jerry Jones, the Jones family, and the consistent, you know how it is to be a Dallas Cowboy. There's constant media headlines. Usually they're negative because the Cowboys don't typically fulfill expectations. Or do you try to ring chase with another team? Do you try to potentially go to the Kansas City Chiefs if they're interested in bringing you in, but taking in a smaller role? I understand that Sammy Watkins might leave, and of course, Andy Reid tries to get himself as many weapons as he possibly can, no matter how much they have left in the tank. We've seen him be successful with players such as LaShawn McCoy in the past, and every time that he has an opportunity to plug in a new player in his offense, especially with a very minimal investment, he definitely seems to make the most of his opportunity. So if you're Dez Bryant, let's just assume that you only have two choices. Let's say the Saints are interested in bringing him back too, because when he got injured, the Saints said that they would be open to potentially bringing back Dez. If you're Dez Bryant, would you rather sign with the Cowboys? Would you rather sign with the Chiefs? Or would you rather sign with the Saints or another team? I think there's going to be a huge market for Dez Bryant this offseason, because again, he seems like he has some left in the tank, and at the same time, he's not going to cost you very much. Now, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like. This is a brand new channel, and every like and subscription definitely helps our channel grow. We just hit the 15,000 subscriber mark, and we are very close to hitting 20,000 subscribers. Also, make sure to check us out on Instagram because I have a vision where I pretty much want to post pieces of news onto my Instagram and engage you guys in the comment section and feature your comments on YouTube and on Instagram on this channel, kind of like I did earlier in this video. So make sure you're followed on Instagram if you want a chance to be featured in the content. I'm your boy Mikerophone, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload.